Guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being a music journalism site, links in the description down below, and we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Machine Gun Kelly featuring Hailee Steinfeld, I think that's how you pronounce it, and that's At My Best, so I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. So I've really struggled to get into Machine Gun Kelly's music in the past, and I guess that's more of a natural preference. I just think he seems to dramatize each lyric in the exact same way, and my goodness, he has to be one of the slowest rappers around, since he shoots out words so slowly and perhaps even in a rather subdued state, which I'm a fan of. I do like the lazy approach to rapping, but I just think he sounds very bored in his songs. So I'm going to go into this track with an open mind, so should we see what I thought of it anyway? Well, I thought it was fine, and the song tries its hardest to be endearing and meaningful, but it's a shame that the majority of the lyrics are just plagiarized Tumblr quotes rather than actually being creative and unique to the artists themselves. I like the use of a clean and chili pepper-like guitar riff. I like the flow Machine Gun Kelly had on this track, but that's about it really. The song never really went anywhere. The feature sounded incredibly generic and dull. The melodies are boring, and it came across like the song feels so sorry for itself all the time, and it really forgot to showcase its problems, and instead just repeated the same lines in a slightly different format, hence repeating themes we had already heard before. You could have taken the first two lines and just changed the adjectives, vocabulary in general, language in general, and you'd just be repeating the same theme over and over again. Production wise, I like the guitar tone a lot, and I think it sounded great throughout this track, but then when the beat kicked in, everything suddenly sounded very plastic and mushy. The beat is far too clean for me, and it perhaps needed either a little bit more grit to it, perhaps being a little bit more natural, or just needed some more unique programming. It sounds like a 2011 Eminem track, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, just a little bit too outdated for me. And also it's been done before. The vocals sound fine, but I did think that Hailee sounded a little weak throughout this track, and there wasn't really much here that went wrong outside of that beat. I thought the synth was fairly subtle and each end of the mix was filled fairly well, but I can't say I found this mix particularly memorable. Comes to the musicality of this track, I must admit I saw potential here, and this is probably the best I've heard Machine Gun Kelly yet. He sounded very comfortable, very natural, again very slow, he did sound slow, but his flow seemed organic and it popped in and out of the time signature very well. However, the song just didn't utilise all the tools it had at its disposal. You have a great guitar routine in here which is wasted and pushed to the background of the track almost straight away. That very guitar routine could have been the catchy, driving force for the track, like I said earlier, but it just wasn't utilised. You have two very different voices in the mix too, but their juxtaposition is so obvious and the transition is so cheesy that neither one added on top of the prior one sequence. Instead of doubling down, the track started back from the beginning. The first verse and chorus is practically just repeated again in that exact same format with nothing changed whatsoever, so neither one really gained any power and neither one added to what the other one was doing. I feel a little bad for Hailee on this track since she was given a very corny hook and perhaps the worst lyrical expression as the driving force for the track. Lyrically, the song had its moments, and Kelly does pull off some fairly personal lines here that are engrossing and interesting, but the chorus is so cheesy, and the whole "handle me at my worst" thing seems to be the new in-saying at the moment all over social medias, and I mean, who cares really? So all in all, a forgettable track which caps off 4 reviews in a row, all of which ending in that gorgeous average rating. So I gave it a G rating of 5 out of 10, which is average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.